Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Lakhi Singh, the property fixer. Hope you're all well. Today I'm going to be talking to you about LPA receivers, and that's quite a big topic actually. And I'm going to talk to you about how they conduct their services and what they're meant to do, what the general principles of what LPA receivers do. So let me start by, first of all, hope you all had a great weekend. It was good fun, and you managed to get out and enjoy the beautiful weather. So first I'm going to do is quickly go to the quote of the week. So the quote of the week is, "Dreams don't work unless you do." Okay, that's quite a good one, isn't it? So what does that mean to you? Dreams don't work unless you do? So basically, you may have big dreams, have big aspirations, but if you don't put the work in and put the discipline in, the time, the organization, then the dreams may come to nothing. So I think having dreams is good, having aspirations, understanding really where you want to go, what you want to do. Dreaming big is important, but no point really having dreams unless you are going to take the action. So I think action is probably the key word in all of this. Taking action is probably like a critical part of what you need to do as well. So that's very important. So today I'm going to talk you through the Law of Property Act 1925 and go through some of the key points which actually tell you more about really how that works. So let me talk to you a little bit about that in a bit more detail. So first of all, fixed charge receivers, Law of Property Act, what is all that? A lot of people don't even know really what all that is. So just to give you a bit of background, so Lakhi Singh, the property fixer, I've been in the industry now for about 30 years. And during my time, especially in the last crash, we've seen a lot of companies, a lot of individuals that have had problems with receivers or losing their assets. So we've become somewhat specialists in helping those type of individuals, those organizations with property problems, find a way to deal with the receivers. And just to give you a bit more of an inkling about what receivers are, what they do, I'm going to give you a quick basic understanding. So there's something called the Law of Property Act, Law of Property Act 1925, which is an act that's actually now been carried out to this day, but it's got very little precedence. But it gives a lot of powers over to surveyors, estate agents, and solvency practitioners as well, and law firms to carry out the collection of rent or taking over the power of sale of a property if a property is gone into arrears or the borrower has actually broken the terms and conditions of the contract that they've signed with the bank when taking on a mortgage. So Lakhi Singh, the property fixer, and his team, we help a lot of people with this type of situation. It's not the only thing we do, but it is quite a substantial part of one of the services that we provide is that we specialize in the Law of Property Act 1925, and we help in complex situations where people are in this particular predicament. Now, the question is going to be, how is it that you get out of this problem? and what are the actual powers that the receivers have, and how are they instructed. So first of all, actually, by the way, I'm getting a lot of hellos now on the show from various people. So hi to Hazel and hi to John. So hope you're all well. Yeah, thank you for saying hello. So this show is going to go on to various platforms, I think, today. So hopefully you'll see this on the Alternative Property Business Solutions community. So all of you out there, so I'm saying hello. So going back, what are the basics of what the Law Property Act 1925 can do, and how does it get instrumented? So basically, what tends to happen is a typical landlord's gone out, bought a few properties. They may, for whatever reason, have lost their job or can't maintain the property in the way that they were used to, or they've managed to somehow break the contract that they've got with the bank. And the typical conditions that are typically broken by a borrower are, number one, that they've gone into arrears, then on to default, and the bank will then contact the borrower and say to them that you need to bring up the arrears. And if you're not able to bring up the arrears, they'll send you a couple of notice letters. And then if it's a buy-to-let property, this is where it gets a bit technical. It's very important that you realize the difference. The buy-to-let property, the banks don't have to go to court. They can literally send you a letter, say you've broken the conditions of the contract, and then they can literally go in and change locks and also collect rent, and they also have the power of sale of the property. So it is a very, very powerful, well, they have a lot of power basically to be able to take control of the property. And a lot of buy-to-let landlords, commercial property owners are not aware actually of what the property, this act can actually do for the bank, and you know how much of a high risk situation they're actually in, and they may be in a false sense of security, thinking everything's going to be fine, but the reality is very different. So this is Lakhi Singh, the property fixer. I'm here to give you like a better understanding of really what happens. And typically, how do the receivers then that are appointed, how do they decide whether they're going to rent it or sell it? So a lot of it all depends on the policy of the bank itself. A lot of banks actually prefer to sell the properties or try to get them for sale as soon as possible. Certain banks like to hold on to the assets and collect the rent and then sell it in their own time. So it all depends on the particular bank and its policy. In terms of, I think they have a particular policy based upon the asset profile. So there's not a clear sort of structure as to when a bank would want to sell it and want to keep it. But my guess is that if it's a larger asset with a lot of a debt trapped in it, let's say it's a £5 or £10 million asset, then on the whole, the bank doesn't really like to keep hold of those sort of assets. They like to sell them quite quickly to get their money back into their organization. So on the whole, it's a very, very, let's just say, unknown process when it comes to once they've taken control. So they could sell it. They could actually collect the rent. So that's pretty much what they do. And when it comes to selling it, the receivers have to go through a process of actually showing that they've following certain protocols, and they are actually being very transparent and allowing for the whole process to be done in a way that's very objective, and that they have put it onto the open market. But 9 times out of 10, a lot of properties that are sold under this act, they're sold way below the sale price, because the bank is actually the actual value of the property, because the bank itself is only interested in getting their debts back out. They're not really interested in your profit. So this is where it can actually become quite problematic. If you're letting go of your property because of arrears, and you sort of think, okay, well, the bank's taking it over now, everything will be fine because I'll get my profit, then please be in no doubt that the bank is not there to look after you. They're there to look after themselves and make sure that they meet their objective, which is to get rid of the debt and get their money back. So I think that's quite a comprehensive understanding of really what LPA receivers do and how they work. So what is it that Lakhi Singh, the property fixer, does? What do we do to help? What are the sort of things that allow you, the borrower, to benefit in terms of what we can do to assist in this particular problem? So number one, I've been working in property for 30 years. We've got over 200 solicitors now, which can attend court within 24 hours anywhere in the country to make sure that you're represented. If there's a hearing tomorrow anywhere in the country during the week, then we do have the ability to attend and actually represent you. Secondly, we provide a free 1 hour consultation, half an hour consultation, and give you a direction. Doesn't really matter what your situation is. If you haven't got funds to pay us, then we will still give you direction on the things you need to do to be able to make sure that you follow the right steps to actually save your property. Thirdly, we are quite comprehensive in stopping repossession. Most of the people we tend to help are landlords which are commercially orientated. They have buy-to-lets or commercial property. We also help homeowners as well, but the homeowner repossession process is quite different. So if you have any issues with your house, you're about to lose your house, or you've got a court order, don't know what to do, we also offer a 1 hour consultation to help anybody in that type of predicament as well. So we're very comprehensive in that. So 1 hour consultation, 200 solicitors, tons of experience in actually going to court, and a very successful track record in stopping repossession. So what are the other steps that we take in helping clients with the repossession problems? We also have expertise in bridging finance. So we know really how to negotiate with the bank and get the debt written off, or the debt, basically the property taken back, or negotiated out by way of raising finance. So that could be in the form of a first charge, or it could be in the form of a second charge. So we have those skills in-house to be able to find funding for you and assist you in that particular problem. Thirdly, we also have the ability to help you to sell any properties through our network of buyers. We have a lot of cash buyers that can help or assist in selling your property. And so we have access of a pool of cash buyers that can go out there and actually help you in finding a solution by way of a friendly buyer who would probably be more likely to help you achieve or maximize your sale price which is something you wouldn't be able to do on your own. It'd be difficult to achieve that on your own. So we all have the skills and abilities to find you a buyer that is more likely to help you hit your target price, and are also more likely to actually structure a deal with you in a way that allows you to keep your properties, possibly as well as by way of a joint venture, if that's possible. So there we go. That's quite a comprehensive list of all the things that we do, which when it comes to stopping repossession in the UK. So where do we operate? We have got experience in dealing in Northern Ireland. We've worked in Wales. We don't do that much in Scotland, but we are happy to help and listen to the case. Sometimes you get very complicated situations where the clients based in Ireland, they've got properties in the UK, got properties in Northern Ireland. So we've dealt with quite a lot of complicated cases and have managed to get the properties back for our clients. We do a lot of work in England, and we basically have worked pretty much nearly every city in the United Kingdom, from Newcastle to Manchester to Bristol. Done a lot of work in London as well. Been a lot of different courts around London, east, north, south, and west of London. We worked in Kent as well. So literally, we've covered the whole country. I can't think of many places that we haven't covered, actually, in terms of assisting clients with the repossession problems. So if you've got any repossession problems, or you've got somebody that's in arrears, or friend that needs help, then here, one of our organizations called Rescue My Properties, another one's called Immediate Bank Claims, another one's called Cash Flow Bridging, another one's called Management Consultants for You, another one's called Negative Equity Help, Negative Equity Portfolio, sorry. Another website is actually called Stop House Repossession. So we have a lot of microsites out there to assist you. So if you were to type in Stop Repossession, mortgage arrears, negative equity help, these type of keywords, then we do pop up quite a lot on the internet, and we're able to assist you through any type of sort of arrears or help where you've got issues with the payment of your mortgage. So do get in touch with us. Lakhi Singh, the property fixer, is here to help, and we've got, like I said, over 15 years of experience now in helping with distressed type situations, with distressed property portfolios. So don't despair. Lakhi Singh, the property fixer, is here. So hope you all have a lovely day today. I think I've covered all the topic I wanted to cover today in terms of the Law of Property Act 1925. So if you're not sure what to do and not clear, or you can't find our details, just type in Singh property problems. Most of our websites come up number one on the internet. So we should actually be able to find us quite easily. So Lakhi Singh is the name, or type in the property fixer into Google, and I'm quite easy to find. So you can ring us on 0207 127 6536, and we can set up a call, or a face-to-face meeting is even better, in our offices in central London at any time, to help you through any sort of questions around repossession. Now, what happens sometimes, we do get people with the issues where they've got some bankruptcy issues, but we specialize we can help with that as well. So we have specialism in insolvency, understanding IVAs, and also dealing with how everything sort of ties together. So the finance, the legal work, and dealing with anything technical around insolvency. We have dealt with all those type of cases in the past. So don't fear, Lakhi Singh, the property fixer is here. So thank you for all the nice comments below. Hope you all have a great week. We'll catch up very soon. So John Smith, hope you're well. Hazel Parker, she's saying have a great Monday. Thank you very much, Hazel. So we shall be in touch. You take care. Have a great week.